watching AsianCultureVulture.com. I'm Mumtaz, and tonight you're joining us at the 21st UK Asian Film Festival. Formerly known as Tongues on Fire and the London Asian Film Festival, this year you'll have the chance to catch screenings in London, Leicester, Manchester and Edinburgh, giving you a chance to watch the best in South Asian cinema, films that are largely female-centric and this year focus on the topic of revolution. So let's head inside the Mayfair Hotel and check out who's on the red carpet. Celebrating 21 years. Now, of course, at the age of 21, you were still quite new into your career, and since then you've gone on to achieve so much. But if you could give some advice to your 21-year-old self, looking back on everything that's happened to you, what would you give her?
Oh, you're talking about advice to myself? Just hang in there, girl, through all the highs and lows. The highs and the rewards of the work that you put in, and the lows when life throws you curveballs. Just deal with it, be happy and stay strong.
Fantastic advice. Now, you are an icon to practically every single female actress there is in India. If you were to have a movie made of your life, looking around at the current Bollywood actresses there are, is there someone that you really admire that you would think, you know what, I'd like her to play me?
I think I've said this before, but I think Priyanka Chopra would be very good, yeah. I'm actually quite honored to be here. I know it's the 21st celebration, and I was just so delighted when I was asked to come, and the theme being revolution, and my participating here this evening. And I think it's wonderful that such a nice platform is given to cinema from Asia.
I thought this was the moustache competition, but as there's a lot of Asian women here, I might be up against stiff competition.
You've got the longest by far. Enjoy the evening.
So the film is a journey. It shows a journey of a transgender boy, how he transitions from being a boy to girl, and how she then transitions from being a kinnar, hijra person to a teacher, and in modern India. So why this film is important is because India is the only country in the world where that transgender people can have legal identity as well as reservation, so quota. There's no country in the world that has done that. But these kids can't study because as soon as they come out, the first thing that stops is education. So if they can't study, if they can't have education, they will never have any chance to have career in such a competitive country like India. So the film is about creating opportunities for them so that they could not just do traditional begging, traditional blessing or sex work, but they could have option to study, to pursue their careers. Because in India, as we know, it's getting one of the richest country, like everybody talks about superpower this, superpower that, but that's the only community that's left behind in my view.
I think with Kashmir what always happens is you cannot keep away the politics of the filmmaker essentially, it's a take. But I think this film is very refreshing in a way because it chooses not to take sides. It tells you about the plight of both the locals as well as the CRPF cops. It's a story of any conflict zone. This film could have been set in Syria for all that matters. It could have been set in Palestine. It's about finding hope by starting a dialogue. So that's why we are very excited about, especially about the current turmoil that the state is going through. I think it's a message of peace. It's a message of starting a dialogue. And that's why it's a very special film to me.
And was it actually filmed in Kashmir? And if so, what's it like to be working there?
It was a phenomenal experience shooting in Kashmir. We were lucky to work with a lot of local actors, so there was a sense of ownership there. And because this film, again, chooses not to take sides, the locals were very happy to support this endeavor. And it's a very honest film.
It's an independent film which is about the life of a musician who's trying to make original compositions, and it's his struggle and about an old music store that's closing down in Mumbai. So the whole thing about this retro music and the change of time and the change of analog music to digital music. So we are living in this transition time, and this is a small story set in that times, and it's our privilege to be part of UK Asian Film Festival. So this is our first time in London, and such a great show, and I am very looking forward to the festival. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. Congratulations on having the film screened here, and enjoy your time in London. So, Prashant, we saw you first last year here at the UK Asian Film Festival. What have you been up to since then? And of course there was Cannes in the way, but other than Cannes?
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I've been really busy with the promotions of Boogie Man. I don't know if you remember, it premiered here last year. And so we were in Cannes with it, and it also screened and won at the Cardiff Film Festival. So I've been busy with castings, a lot of travel with work, so it's all good at the moment.
And I see you've got bees on the jacket. They don't sting though, no stings, no stings.
Well, I hope not. There's an awful lot. But I do get quite a good reception when I wear this. And I thought it was a great occasion to dress up for. I love the festival. I think they do a great job.
To me, film festivals are much more important than cinemas and theatres, because my first film, Mehsampur, released in a film festival, and it won like the biggest awards in film festivals, which is how the directors recovered their money, and which is how me as an actress, it was my first film, got recognition. It was a very experimental, very controversial, very avant-garde film, and I don't think it would have gotten the recognition it did if Mumbai Film Festival or Melbourne Film Festival or the film festivals it showed at didn't exist, because the patrons of these festivals have such a vision and have such a different way of looking at cinema, the kind of vision I grew up with. I studied film and theatre in Paris, and when I moved to Bombay I was like, oh my god, where is my place in the sun? But I've been traveling to many film festivals, and I feel much more at home at film festivals than I guess anywhere else, to be honest. So it's really great to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So this year's festival, the theme is revolution. So maybe you could tell us in your words, what's revolution all about, and especially in the film world?
I think we're going through a very interesting period in the film world. We have the issues around Me Too to deal with. We're also looking much more strongly at gender equality within filmmaking. A lot of women assistant directors are now becoming first-time film directors. And as a festival that has roots as an Asian women film festival, we have such delight in being able to program 34 films, shorts, features, documentaries by women. That just shows from a time when there were only 5, I think, to 34. It's a major achievement, and we are the only unique festival that does this.
Now you've achieved 21 years. What's that feeling like to know?
Great. You feel exhausted, but very exhilarating. We've made our mark, and I feel that we also rooted a lot of things we have brought to London and now UK-wide. So, but we still need more sponsors to help us just cross that line.
The UK Asian Film Festival runs from the 27th of March until the 4th of May. You can catch films in London, Leicester, Manchester and Edinburgh, and don't forget the Asian Culture Vulture screening of Ek Akasha on the 29th of March at the Regent Street Cinema in London. You can of course keep up with the festival and all the screenings and news over on asianculturevulture.com, and don't forget to follow us on social media as well. Enjoy the festival.